really said too much. I press
Start
record
again.
now. So apologies for those who have missed the first 5-10 minutes of the recording. I know there was a few things mentioned in here. Yep. Goals. Yeah. Cool. So just to kind of do a quick recap of what I just said. So, welcome to the first webinar of 2021. I am absolutely delighted to be the first one to host a webinar for everyone. So, I hope everyone feels the same way. Maybe not, maybe, maybe not, but very, very delighted to be doing that. And the whole purpose of this webinar is to really get ahead of making sure that our fund and our traders have the right mindset and vision and goals in place, and more importantly, actionable steps in place to achieve those goals ahead of 2021. So not trying to do it, 6 months down the line, not trying to just hit our goals in the last 3 months or last month of the year, actually doing it and actually trying to build some form of accountability as well, right? Of how that's possible. At the end of the day, each of you have a mentor in this program. Many of you I will be your mentors, so it'll be a lot easier for you when it comes to setting this task. But by all means, have that accountability. I might need to send the link in the group by the looks of things. I don't know if anyone's been able to do that. 1 second. Groups have been a little bit crazy today. Everyone asking the same question. Yeah. I think it would be better just making separate groups for webinar updates. Let's not start today. It's too early in the year. Yusuf, I see you smiling and you know what I want to say. But it's all good. Let me see. I think they'll sort it out. They'll sort it out between themselves. Cool. But yeah, I'm very excited for this year already. I can tell you that this year we are aiming for me as an individual, I'm aiming for 7 figures. Break into that 7-figure bracket this year. It's going to happen. So there's no doubt about it. It's 7 figures this year. Probably move out to Dubai as well and open the trading floor there. They're my goals. That's it. I'm just working towards that. Nothing else. Oh, and lose weight. I should. It's obviously not a priority, but they're basically 3 goals. Yeah. So 7 figures, Dubai, lose weight. That's it. Keep it simple. There was a time, not even many years ago, probably even last year, probably or the year before, where I would have a list of goals. Read X amount of books, make X amount, have this income stream, that income stream, this car, that car, this clothes, this watch, this, that, loads of things. And how many of them would probably get done? None of them, right? And if any were done, they probably could have been done a lot faster with a lot more sort of efficiency to it. And they probably did, right? So, this year, focus. Last year was the best year of my life. And it was meant to be one of the hardest, right, for everyone. And I'm sure for many of you in here, it's probably the best year when it comes to results, not just from trading, but, probably some of the best results and probably the best sort of growth you've had. I would say I've seen that in a lot of people. Don't know if anyone else agrees. Anyone else have even if let's say you weren't profitable or you haven't gotten to exactly where you want to be, was last year an extremely positive year when it comes to your overall growth as an individual? Self-development, yeah. See, I think it's happened from a lot of people. I would say the majority of people have had a fantastic year, regardless of results. We put results to one side. When it comes to knowledge, when it comes to growth overall, even if it comes to results in other areas of life. But even with results, I've seen so many traders turn things around this year. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that. And I know there was some questions by Najma there about a Dubai trading floor. Yeah, that's one of my goals for this year, is to set up a Dubai trading floor. I'm going to put the Q4, so end of the year more than likely. I'm not going to be rushing into it, but yeah, Q4 more than likely. I'll be looking to try and do that. So yeah, keep an eye on that.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that part. Are you guys opening a trading floor in Dubai?
Yeah, so that's the goal.
The end of the year?
By the end of the year, hopefully, yeah.
Oh, okay, hopefully.
But yeah, so talking about that, when we talk about goals, many of you said that you've set up goals. Hope to see you in LA trading floor. Definitely. That should be. Hopefully, that's going to be happening a lot sooner. that would have been done last year. I think LA trading floor would have been done last year, if anything. But due to COVID, it's just been harder. But now we have obviously the partnership with Swaggy, one of our students over in America, and obviously in LA, more importantly. So it becomes a lot easier to try and get things done. So that will be very, very exciting. And definitely, I'm sure I will head over there as well to spend time with everyone. So yeah, it's been good. Do you need anyone to help carry your bags? Not at the moment. We'll see. Where else? Well, there's no limit to where we're going to go. So yeah, it's a very, very exciting year. We have obviously LA, we have Miami, we have Dubai, probably Australia, South Africa, probably Malaysia, probably somewhere, I think Madrid in Europe. So many options, so many goals to China. Yeah, maybe, you never know. But yeah, Dallas as well. Yeah, no, Dallas is definitely on the list as well. I think Texas is a very popular state at the moment, from what I've heard. But yeah, so when it comes to this webinar, we want to talk about goals. So it's not even just goals, about mindset. I remember someone, when I asked about topics for the webinar, someone mentioned about, how to sort of come into the mindset into the new year. And the truth is, with trading, especially, some people may have had a tough time last year. Some people may have had maybe a tough sort of just experience in drawdown. Maybe some have actually had that tough experience last year and sort of turned it around and coming into break even or small profits towards the end of the year, which is fantastic. So what do you want to do going into the new year? Maybe some of you are new. I know a lot of you can be new because a lot of people joined obviously last month and probably didn't trade too much. There weren't any webinars, etc. So may have just been waiting sort of idle for 2 weeks. So you might be new, which is also great because that's where you want to be. You want to start the year with a fresh slate. That doesn't mean forget anything that's happened, not at all, because that's necessary. We need to know. But what happens as a trader, right? What happens as a trader is that majority of the time, our decisions and our sort of experience in the markets is impacted by our past experiences. Yeah, they're influenced by our past emotional states that linger in our subconscious mind when we are trading live. So for example, let's say 6 months ago, I blew my account, right? Let's say 6 months ago, I blew my account, and I haven't traded for the last 6 months and I'm starting now, new year. If I was to do that, I'm going to be coming in, okay, the best thing I could do is come in with a fresh slate. Yes, remember all the lessons from the past, the lessons from those experiences, but not be trying to, have that actively in my mind. However, as I said, subconsciously, it's natural. Subconsciously, I'm going to come into the new year with this fresh account and be thinking about the account that I blew 6 months ago, which is the opposite I want to do, because as soon as I'm trading, and let's say I've set this plan. So when I was trading 6 months ago, I didn't have a plan, just freestyling, basically gambling. Coming to 6 months now, going into January, I've made a plan now. Okay, I might stick to that plan. With a fresh slate mindset, I might stick to that plan for a few weeks, right? But then it will creep in subconsciously. The past will creep in. Those past emotions will creep in. That mindset of particular greed or lack of patience or FOMO or other all the usual suspects that cause us to make these mistakes will probably creep in, and that is where it's our job to make that not happen. That's very easy for me to say. I'm sure you hear it all the time. I'm sure if you just go on a free YouTube video, they'll tell you the same thing. Don't do this, don't do that, stick to your plan. But how do you actually do it? Now, this is something I touched upon in the voice note in the group, which was about being committed to change, right? Now, a great example is in here, Yusuf, right? Yusuf's a great example, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying, but Yusuf's been trading longer than me. Yusuf's been trading since roughly about 2008. So coming up to 13 years, right? Now, in that journey, I'm sure there were ups and downs. I'm sure there were great times, positive moments, and I'm sure there were negative times, negative moments. Now, coming onto the program in last year, me and Yusuf spoke, and we had spoken about how he had traded large capital in the past. So that wasn't new to him. That wasn't like that was a new aspect of the journey. But he just hadn't got that consistency yet. And what we saw with Yusuf when he joined the program is, yes, in the beginning there was some fluctuations, ups and downs. We had a drawdown. I can't remember if the max, I want to say off the top of my head, maybe 7-8%, 10%. There you go. It's fast. 10% max drawdown. Okay, cool. Which is normal, which is fine. But what was the difference? What changed that for Yusuf? Now, Yusuf did a lot of the work. He took action, right? He took action, number one. But he set the intention first. He set the intention. I remember we had a conversation where I think month one, okay, we had some good profits. The risk to rewards there, essentially. So where you would have losses, but 1 or 2 trades would take it all the way back. So we knew that way. We already sort of looked at the trading, the statistics, and said that. Cool. Month two, we've seen similar things. So now at this point, I've said to Yusuf, and Yusuf said to me the same thing pretty much, where we need to make a change. We need to obviously make a change so that these smaller losses, even though yes, the risk to reward's correct, it's a case where we take smaller losses or less smaller losses, should I say, so that we have less losses and more wins, or just the equal amount of wins, but overall it means we're in profit. So what did we do? We had to set the intention that we're going to change this reoccurring circumstance and this reoccurring theme that was happening. And it was a case, as a mentor, it's a case of accountability and just reminding, right? And as a student, as a trader, it's really the hard work is on them, right? It's my hard work is just based on looking at the situation and being able to provide the accountability, the right feedback, teach if necessary. And don't get me wrong, there is teaching aspects to it, but more importantly, it's about that accountability. Setting the intention together to then hold you accountable moving forward. And the beautiful thing is, as I said, Yusuf set the intention of making that change, right? And seeing that change. Because I'm sure in the past he's recognized for maybe a similar pattern, but yes, may have set the intention of I'm going to do it, but then fell back into old ways, right? It's natural. Happened to me. Happened to, I'm sure, everyone in here, if not everyone who's ever traded. But the difference I've seen, not just from Yusuf though, from people like Stephen, from people like even who else? Imran as well, who's in the group. Who I think he's in the webinar. Imran from even I'm just going through the list, by the way, just to see who's actually in here, so I can give you good examples. Even Kudzi, great example. Samir's in here, great example. Jay's in here, great example again. People who, again, and all similar situations in some form of drawdown, maybe potentially gone sideways. However, made a commitment, not to me, but to themselves, to make a change in their trading, no matter how hard it got. Now, I'm sure Samir will be able to tell you, I'm sure Jay will be able to tell you, that sometimes it's not a case where it's just, one time I make this commitment, right? Or one time I make the commitment, everything goes great. No, it is a case where as long as you make the commitment, even if you do, say, push ahead and do great results and then end up having sort of a drawdown moment, or maybe 2 or 3 times that happens. But at the end of the day, it's the commitment to making your trading work, a commitment to actually putting in the necessary work. Sometimes that can be a case of where you actually have to step away from the charts, right? People always think when we say, do the work, it means you have to be on the charts 24/7. A lot of the time, that is the negative sort of mindset that is actually causing you harm. Because at the end of the day, like for me, for example, I can tell you toxic trading for my last 12 months. Okay, I noticed that I was over trading. I wasn't being specific with my trading. I didn't set a specific time for my trading. I didn't set specific days for my trading. I didn't select, obviously, the pairs that I was trading, what time. I wasn't going into detail enough into, when my pairs should move and when I should be trading. I was just trading, everyone knows I trade a smaller number of pairs, the pound pairs mainly. And many will probably know as well that I probably mainly just trade pound. So pound GJ, GU, and Euro GBP became quite a highlight of the end of last year. Now, the interesting thing is all of those pairs pretty much move in the London session, okay, which is fine. So why was I taking trades, say, in the New York or even after New York session, like 5 p.m., 6 p.m.? Right? Why was I taking trades then? The optimum trade is in the London session. Yeah, I was taking trades 5, 6 p.m. And the funny thing is those trades, 90% of the time would not come through and they would be losses. But yeah, I still took them, right? And yeah, I was on the charts 24/7 hunting for trades, constantly hunting for trades. Even when I was in a trade, I'm still looking for another trade on the same bloody pair. How weird is that? On the same pair, so let's say I'm a long on Euro GBP, and that trade's 50 pips in profits. I'm still looking for another trade to take on, whether that's long or short on that pair. What's the need, right? Is there such thing as over aggression? Is there such thing as doing too much chart time? being on the charts too much? Of course there is, right? Just as for some people, there'll be a case where they're not on the charts enough. They're missing opportunities all the time. They're trading GJ, yet they're sleeping through London session. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. You have to ask yourself, okay, if I'm not willing to wake up, and this may be a case for people in LA, for example. It's very understandable because London session, I think, is like 1 a.m. there, 1, 2 a.m. It's understandable if you don't want to be awake for that session. But that's where you have to make the conscious choice. Okay, I need to change pair because I can't afford to trade this pair because I'm not going to be awake. These are questions you have to ask yourself, right? These are these sort of intentions. This is how you lead yourself to start setting intentions in the first place. You have to ask yourself, what do I actually need to change? What is it about my trading that actually needs changing? Or what do I not need to change, right? We always talk about what I'm doing wrong, the mistakes I'm making, what needs changing, but also think about what you do well, right? Because I think I said this quote on another webinar last year, maybe towards the end of last year. And I mentioned about this quote, and it was something along the lines of, we forget all of our, it was some religious quote, but it was saying basically that we forget all the good deeds that we do because of the sins that we've committed in the past, right? We forget about all the good that we do because of all the bad, right? We let the bad consume us. And the same with trading. We let all the losses confuse and blind us to all the actual amazing trades and good analysis we've done, right? And probably sometimes, in some cases, that someone could probably be analyzing and capturing amazing trades more often than not, but because of the losing trades, they're just so consumed by it, they don't see it. I knew someone from last year, and I don't know if they're in the webinar, but I hope they won't mind me. I won't say their name, but I hope they won't mind me sharing. But last year, they spent probably 6 months, 6 to 7 months, where they were just sideways. Yeah, they were just sideways. They hadn't lost. And the thing is, they weren't sideways in break even. They were in profit. They were near the 5% mark. And they just went sideways for 6 months because they just weren't seeing any of the positive that they were doing. They were just seeing all the negatives. And they let that consume them. They let that overcome them. And then they just felt paralyzed with it. Imagine they'd never lost. They hadn't lost. They haven't had big drawdown. They hadn't had a huge losing streak. They weren't in drawdown. They were in profit. And yet even they felt analysis paralysis, and they felt sort of stuck within their trading, right? So, don't think that it's only if you're losing or having a negative experience or negative balance, is what causes you to have these issues. I've seen people with positive balances, right? So it goes full circle, right? But again, even with that individual, what made them change and help them to change? Intention. Setting the intention. Working out, number one, obviously what was going wrong, and that's where obviously the mentorship comes in, and having a mentor can help. But setting the intention of what they want to change. How are they going to change it? What routines do they need to put in place? What accountability am I going to put in place? Which is something I want to talk to you today about, because that is very important when it comes to goal setting, right? Which we'll touch on that in a second. Let's go through the process. So again, finding out exactly where you need to improve. So when we come about trading, looking at your statistics, looking at your routine, looking at the pairs you trade, looking at your results, recognizing what needs improving, but also recognizing what you excel in and trying to put more effort into that as well. Okay? Because once you've got that, then you can set your intention. Without that information, you're just setting the intention for the sake of setting the intention. Doesn't make sense. It's like me just saying, I want to lose weight without changing anything, without doing any research, without looking at my diet or my routines at the moment, just saying it. I just want to lose weight. That's my intention. Hopefully it will happen, right? It doesn't work that way. Instead, I have to look at, okay, what have I done the last month, which has caused me not to lose weight, or is causing me to gain weight, for example. So on, find out all the information, find out what I can improve, what I can change, what I can make better. Set the intention to then do that. And then obviously next comes the accountability. Right? Well, next comes the actionable steps, then the accountability. Forgetting the steps there, see myself. But what's important, I'll just quickly check the chat because I know I've been talking a bit. 1 second. Someone said something about isn't it a loss till 10 p.m. Friday? The amount of times I've made back a loss if Friday afternoon is crazy. Yeah, exactly. Toxic trading. So toxic trading is just regarding I think people would probably have different definitions of toxic trading. I don't think there's like a literal definition of it. But in my eyes, toxic trading is just where you're not sticking to the plan that you've set out. Because I think anything against that plan, even if you win, still can be considered toxic because you've set a plan for a reason. Hopefully, and many people don't have plans. Many people think they have a plan when it's not really a plan. They've just said that these are the pairs I'm trading. This is the sort of complements I use, risk to reward, etc. That's it. A plan needs to be detailed. I would, if you haven't watched already, watch the trading plan webinar masterclass that's on YouTube. Watch it because it goes into detail of how much should be in your plan, and we even go through all the things that should be in the plan. I think there's even more things in that plan than the one that I give out to the traders. All right. So if you haven't got that trading plan, drop me an email at riz at astrofxc.com, and then you can obviously get the trading plan that I've made, if that will help. And you can always fill that out. Cool. So someone asked someone, where can I find out what pairs are good to trade at what time? Where can you find out? You just have to think about the pairs. So if I quickly touch on that, and we'll quickly continue with the goals and stuff. But trading pairs, you just have to think about the pair itself. So pound, USD. So we got the pound, we got the US dollar. When's that going to move? London session, New York session, right? Pound, Australian dollar. When's that going to move? London session, Australian session, which is I think just before Asia session, around like 11, 12 p.m. Right, when their central bank is open. But I think there is a webinar around routines. So yeah, I think it was in routines where I touched upon that. But it's as simple as that, though. Thinking about obviously the pair that you're trading and the what time those banks would be open. Okay, so we've talked about so far how to sort of come about setting your intention. Okay, actually being committed to the idea of change and improvements, and the way of doing that is obviously looking at what you're doing at the moment. What is it that you're actually doing at the moment, and where is it that you can improve to get the results you want to get? Okay, so on to the next step. Obviously, setting the commitment and making that commitment comes from then making a list of goals, making a list of changes, if you will. It doesn't have to always be goals. It could just be changes that you want to see. Now, let's say, for example, you're trading 25K, okay? And your goal is to trade 50K, okay? That's it. So that's you need to be committed to the idea of making that change. So by the end within that year or the time period that you give yourself, you will make that happen, okay? You will make that happen. You're committed to that idea. You're dedicated. You're confident that you're going to make that happen as well, okay? So that's one thing.
Riz, what's the process of getting a bigger account? Do you have like a one-to-one with someone and discuss it?
I'm just talking generally.
Okay, so how would an Astro student get a bigger account?
Just message Joe and he will let you know. But it's based on results anyway, as always. It's always based on results. But touching on this, what I'm getting at is just general goals. So whether it's 25K to 50K, or whether it's £10 to £100, wherever it is, it all depends on the person. It could even be something completely non-monetary, nothing to do with monetary value. It could be weight, like I said, with myself. It could be to go from 100 kg to 80 kg, for example, right? It could be whatever it is, doesn't matter. As long as you're committed to the idea and the plan that you're putting in place and the goal that you're setting, or the change you want to seek, right? That's what's most important, to be committed to that change or that plan that you're making. Setting that intention to actually give it a go, not just saying, okay, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, I'm going to be profitable this year. Actually sitting down and looking at, why aren't you profitable? Why aren't you losing weight? Why aren't you reading those books that you said you're going to read? Why aren't you doing it? What is it that's in your day? How many hours in a day have you actually got, and how much of the day are you? And being honest with yourself is obviously really important. A lot of people like me, I'm honest with myself. I know that I have so much more time to maybe read books and to watch documentaries or to exercise or whatever it may be. I've got a lot of time, but I spend a lot of time watching films or watching TV because I enjoy that, right? But I could probably spend a lot less time doing that and improve more. That's me being honest with myself, right? Same with yourselves, right? As a trader, you need to be honest with yourself. Am I over trading? Am I not over trading? Am I revenge trading? Am I not revenge trading? Am I sticking to my plan? Am I not? Because the only individual who's actually going to know the truth is you. You know, your parents ain't going to know, siblings and your friends ain't going to know, even your mentor won't actually know if you're sticking to your plan or not, right? Don't get me wrong, there's easy ways for us to find out. Let's say if you say you're not going to trade Monday, and I look at your account and your stats and you're trading Monday every Monday, obviously I'm going to know, right? But it's not my job to stop you. I'm not going to put a block on your account to stop you trading Monday. That's your job, right? You have to, again, hold yourself accountable and be committed to making that change. That's what's most important. I keep getting hiccups or something. I don't know. No, what's going on?
There's just a quick question. I always hear I'm over trading. How do you know if you're under trading, or is there anything like that? Maybe trading, you're not taking trades when you see them.
What did you say? Sorry, say again.
How do you know if you're under trading? Because there's over trading, right? Is there anything like under trading?
Only if you're not taking the trades that fit your plan and you haven't got the results you want. So say if, let's say, in a week, 5 trades fit your plan, you took one and that one was a loss, and you the other 4 actually played out. You're obviously under trading. You're not taking the trades that you're meant to be taking, because obviously they fit your plan. Right? That's the only way that would work. Same with over trading though. Like, with the over trading, you might be taking 5 trades that fit your plan, and as part of your plan as well, you might have a potential target or anything like that. Is when you're making money. But yeah, that's really the process. So when it comes to over trading, most people will make profit and then they start over trading. They may still be taking trades that fit their plan, but they're over trading because they've hit their potential target figure, or they're just then chasing the profit. They're letting the profit dictate the number of trades they take. So I hope that helps. Someone asked something. If I analyze the market on 4-hour, 1-hour time frame, and my entries on 5-minute or 3-minute, but I hold the trades just to get 30-40 pips, I'm considering myself a day trader, right? I don't know. Day trader, scalper. Sounds more, depends. 30-40 pips. Depends how long you're holding your trades, really. But it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what name you give yourself. It doesn't matter if you're a scalper, day trader, swing trader. Like, there's no. It's like, if I say I'm a swing trader, it doesn't make me any better than a scalper. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean I make any more money than a scalper either. It doesn't matter. Honestly. Literally makes no difference. It makes no difference whatsoever. Why wouldn't you trade certain days? Well, it depends. So I don't trade Monday. I don't like it. I don't feel clear on Mondays. So yeah. So then going on to the next step, once you've got your intention, it's about then obviously setting those goals, setting the sort of time period you want to achieve that in. So for example, let's say myself, I want to lose weight by the end of the year. I have a goal weight by the end of the year. So that means that goal is a 12-month goal. That also then means that I am going to set, say, quarterly goals alongside that 12-month goal, maybe monthly, maybe 6 months, wherever, right? But then I need to set the actionable steps. So what steps am I taking to achieve that goal? That's what's very important, because it's one thing saying I want to read 10 books in a year, but breaking that down into actionable steps. How many pages a day or a week do I need to be reading, or a month do I need to be reading to achieve that 10 books a year? Right? Because otherwise, it's very easy for me to say I want to read 10 books a year, but if I haven't actually worked out the steps I need to take in order to achieve that goal, I'm probably not going to go through with it. I might read one book in Q1 and then not read another book until Q4, because then I'm like, oh shit, I've only read one book. I said to myself 10, let me try and read 9 now in December. It doesn't work that way. That's why most people don't really hit any goals. A lot of people don't set goals in the first place, to be fair. And then the ones that do, the majority of them don't obviously hit any goals and don't actually achieve anything, because they haven't done the actionable steps. They don't actually know how to achieve what they're trying to achieve. They don't know how to actually go out there and actually, say, achieve that 10% profit, for example, 10 kilo gain in weight or loss in weight, or those 10 books or whatever the goal may be, right? So, for example, Q1, I might set myself a goal of I need to set myself a goal of achieving 7 figures, for example, by the end of Q1. How am I going to do that? Right? If I'm on $500,000 now, how am I going to double that to 6 figures? Doesn't mean that. Do I need to flip an account? And now I have to look at the options. Do I need to try and flip my account? Doesn't sound very safe. Do I need to increase my my risk to reward? Do I need to get my track record in order and try and find an investor? Do I, etc. Right? Find the route, make the actionable steps, and then actually do it. Right? So when I have my actionable steps, let's say if it's a quarterly goal like the one I just mentioned, I'm going to set obviously daily steps to achieving that, weekly steps to achieving that, monthly steps that should be ticked off, and having a system in place that will allow you to tick them off. Whether you use a software like Notion, whether you use an actual I don't know what they call them, like a goal setting book that you can buy, or whatever it may be, whatever works for you. People work differently. You might use Notion, you might use Evernote, you might use Trello, you might use Discord, for example. You might use Telegram. You might use Excel spreadsheet, for example. Use what works for you, but have a system in place that you can refer to. Have the lists, have the actionable steps, have the goals set so you can tick them off, so you can actually physically see your progress every single day, right? But all of this actually applies to even long-term goals. So even if you have like a 50 or 100-year goal, right, you still need actionable steps to achieving it. Otherwise, again, you're just saying something. It's like me. I've always said I want to be worth 30 million by 30 years old, right? Which leaves me 4 years, 4 months, something like that. So I need to have actionable steps to achieve it. Otherwise, it's just me saying words, just me saying 30 million by 30. It sounds nice, but it doesn't really mean anything unless I have actionable steps behind it. What steps am I making to actually achieving that goal? Where's that income coming from? Which different sources is it coming from? Is it one source? Is it 10 sources? Is it 10 different businesses I have to make? Do I have to have employees? Do I need to pay X amount in taxes? What I need to have the actionable steps to make that goal a reality, right? Same with you guys. So for many of you, obviously your goals are probably going to be around trading or investing. So think about that, right? So if we're talking about trading, if you guys want to make X percentage or X growth in your account, or maybe be a part of a particular trading floor or have a job obviously with Astro, make the goal, set the length of time you're setting for that goal, and then set the actionable steps, right? Set the actionable steps. But let's quickly tag up myself. Yeah. So if everyone wants to tag me and Astro on your stories, on your Instagram, that'd be great. It's your first webinar of the year. We are back. We got a great turnout, actually, surprisingly, because I didn't really promote this webinar either. Maybe it's because you guys missed us over the last 2 weeks. But if you guys want to shout us out on your story, that's my Instagram, which I might be changing because I've got Astro in my name, I've got so many fake accounts now, which is a shame. But what can you do, eh? What can you do? But yeah, if you tag Astro, tag myself, and I would much appreciate it. I actually need to post it myself. I'll do that now. But yeah, normally what I'll do is if we get a good amount of shares, then I'll pick 2 or 3 people, do a one-to-one call with, Zoom call. So hopefully, yeah, if people do that, then I can get that going as well. What am I doing? I've forgotten how to use Instagram. It's been that long. I didn't really use it. If anyone noticed, I wasn't active at all over the Christmas period. Yeah. Diego actually won a call. Actually, we still need to have that. So just drop me a DM. We can book it again. So just drop me a DM. But yeah, so on to the next point of sort of the steps. So far we've gone through obviously looking through your routines and the stats, deciding on what actually needs changing, what can be improved, what's actually doing well for you at the moment. And then after that, we discussed, what did we discuss after that? We discussed obviously setting the intention, right? So the intention is very, very important, okay? Setting the actual intention for your, making your change, for your goal, for the change that you want to see, whatever way you look at it, and then having the actionable steps. So what's the last point of call? And you've probably heard me mentioning it already. The first was accountability. So this is where accountability comes in. Now, this is where you have an option. So it depends, who's going to hold you accountable, right? Do you have a group that you can use to hold you accountable? Someone you can trust to know your goals and what you're looking to achieve and will actually hold you accountable to doing that? Right? Are you going to have a weekly or monthly call with them where they will ask you, did you go to the gym 3 times a week? Did you stick to your diet? And if you didn't, why didn't you do that? Actually ask you, why didn't you do it? What excuse do you have for me now? Right? Just like, why did you stick to your trading plan? No, I didn't. Why not? Why didn't you stick to your plan? All right? There isn't an excuse, but what excuse are you going to come out with? Oh, the trade looked too good. I took it anyway. Right? Yeah? Because it's very, very important. Very, very important. So, I would definitely recommend making sure you have an accountability partner. So, for example, I know that Najma, you could obviously have your friend. You both on the program. Both of you could hold each other accountable to your goals, right? Caden, you have Matthew, for example. You could hold each other accountable to your goals. And when I say it, there's one thing saying it again is a very big. You have to set the intention for this as well, where you're actually going to do it. You're going to be strict on each other. You're going to hold each other accountable because you're only doing it for each other's benefits, right? By not doing it, if anything, you're harming the other individual. That person's put their trust in you to be their accountability partner. And if you're not doing it, that's what we're doing. Fantastic. If you're not doing it, you're harming that person. Once if they're holding you accountable and you aren't doing the same back for them, right? And the reason why this is important is because we're naturally human. All this saying stuff like, I've already said that majority of people set goals, they don't do it. Majority of people don't even set goals. We all know that, but that's natural. We're naturally lazy like that. We're naturally talk a bigger game than what we normally end up putting into action. It's natural. We naturally wish to and see the way that we want to trade and end up doing something else. We naturally set a plan and we don't follow it. It's natural. Right? Yeah. So the most important thing is to remember that the accountability is there to help you stay on track. All right. Because the thing is, let's say if you miss one of the steps that we've set, so let's say you didn't do the actionable steps, what is that person going to hold you accountable to? Right? So if you've told them, I want to read 10 books, but you haven't got any steps of how you're going to do that. So I need to read 10 books a day, or 10 pages a day, for example, I don't know. But say you've said that, say you haven't got the actionable steps. You just say, I'm going to read 10 books. Every month that guy's going to say to you, how many books you read? That's it. Yeah, I've read none. Okay. You need to read 10, mate. Come on. Instead of that, that's not going to work. That's not going to do anything, right? But by having the actionable steps, 10 pages a day, you might have a call at the end of this week. How many pages you read this week? I read 50. Well, you need to be on 70. So why haven't you done 2 days? You need to catch up, mate. You need to actually stay on the ball. This is your goal that you've set me, you told me to hold you accountable to. So why haven't you done the 2 days there and 20 pages that you've missed? What was the reason? Oh, I was ill. Okay. I'm not gonna test you on that. Okay, but you need to catch up on these 20 pages that you missed out. When are you going to make up for them? Are you going to make up for them in one go, or are you going to split them 5 extra pages a day for X number of days? What are you going to do? That is why it's so important to have each step in place, because the first step is about actually identifying where you can improve, what you're doing right now, what's not giving you the results you want, right? What you're doing right now, what is giving you the results that you want, and how you can improve on that, how you can make changes on that, which then comes into the intention, setting the actual intention to do that, to go through that process, and actually then look to continue that process, for the next, say, 3, 6, 9, 12 months, whatever it may be. And then obviously having the actual steps to actually make that a reality, and then having the accountability from a friend, a mentor, whatever it may be, to hold you accountable to that. It's very, very important. Do you see the benefit of doing that sort of process? I have a friend who I do it with, but he is not in Astro yet. So sometimes I'm guessing, I feel he could be tempting me from my not stick to my plan. I don't know. You didn't type in English, but I'm guessing you mean that he's tempting you not to stick to your plan, which means obviously two things. One, that shouldn't be the case. No one should ever be able to tempt you off your plan. So that may be just an excuse you're telling yourself, maybe. But two, if that is the case, then again, he's not a friend of yours. He's not your accountability partner. He's not a friend of yours. Get rid of him. Caden's right. You have to be savage, man. You have to be savage. Like, at the end of the day, look, everyone in here is in here because they want to achieve greatness in trading at the least, but probably in other areas of life as well. And the way you go about doing that isn't being nice, isn't holding around people who aren't helping you elevate. And it doesn't mean that everyone around you has to be a success or everyone around you has to be a businessman, but they have to at least appreciate what you're trying to do, right? So if, let's say, that person is the one who's causing you to go off plan for whatever reason, don't know how it's possible, but let's say they are, then yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to. Chris saying some madness. I'm no comment, mate. I've got a wife myself. If she finds out if I commented on that, then I'm done. Yeah, I had to get my charger. It's killing me. Ugh. Oh, I nearly fell off my chair there, guys. You would have seen that. That would have been a great blooper for the recording. It would be unfair to say it's all him. I don't see how it is. But when he texts me a trading idea, it's hard to ignore. Why? Is that guy profitable? Answer me that. Is he profitable? He's profitable, yeah? How much is he trading? Does that make sense? But on a smaller account. I will say nothing. 25K demo. You must be joking, Harry, though, right? Yeah? You are joking, right? I think he's joking. He must be. Let's see what he says. You are joking, right, Harry? My wife is playing up. Yeah. It wasn't meant to say that. I don't know if he's joking or not, but no, we can chat another time. Harry, mate, Harry. All right, it doesn't matter about no one minds anyway. No sharing chart work, yeah. He's my best mate for 15 years. I'm not gonna say it, Harry. You said best friend of 15 years, but Harry, you're like, I swear you're like 20, 19, 20, maybe you're younger. So that means nothing. 21. That means 15 years, nothing. Yeah, you were 6. You were probably forced into that relationship. Yeah. I'm joking. But one thing to remember, even if it's your best friend, even if it's someone who may be profitable, whatever, with trading, you can never allow anyone's chart work, anyone's ideas to influence you. It's like even me. I say it on the floor all the time. Like people ask me questions. You probably see it in the webinars recordings a lot as well. People ask me, what can you go over GJ? Could you go over gold? Could you, what's your bias on this? And I get pissed off and I don't do it because that person, whoever's asking, whenever they ask, isn't doing it because they're asking for their benefit. They're just asking because they want to know, okay, Riz, the guy, the mentor, the one who hosts the webinars, the one who works at Astro, what is he thinking about gold? Because whatever he thinks is going to be right, and I'm going to take that trade. Doesn't make sense. I don't even trade gold. I could do a bias. Like someone messaged me all the time. Gold's normally the one, like, what's happening with gold, bro? Tell us what's happening with gold, right? I could do an analysis on gold, right? Yeah, I could do analysis on gold, but I never trade it. And yet this person might take it as gospel when I don't even trade the pair. I just did analysis for the guy, right? You might go all, fully over leveraged thinking this is the trade. You might blow 5, 10K. And yet then you'll blame it on me. That's the thing. And yet that's me, right? That's me. So imagine when it's your friend who, even if they're trading a smaller account, even if they're trading, let's say even if they're trading 7, 8 figures and they're profitable as hell, still can't take the idea. Still can't do it. £1 per signal. It's cheap, mate. No way. I'll never do that. I'm curious to know what will happen to Chris and his wife. I have no idea. Find out next week. The next edition on Monday Masterclass. It'll be on marriage counseling. When we'll be able to trade indices. Not sure yet. I know Nat's very excited to try and introduce everything from crypto, indices, stocks, shares. So we'll see. He's working on that at the moment. So it should be interesting, definitely. I think she doesn't want me to be a millionaire in case hot women want me. Maybe. It's possible. It's possible. Damn it. This has been a funny one. It's been good. But that's all for me. I've gone through the steps. So, one thing I wanted to mention when it comes to accountability, obviously, yes, use a friend or use a family member. But the truth is, you want to find someone who has goals of their own. It doesn't always have to be a trader, but you want to find someone who has goals of some kind, of a nice elevated level, whether that's business, whether that's, weight loss, whether it's reading, whether it's a job promotion, I don't know, whatever it may be, but some form of a decent level. It's not just, I want to read one book for the whole year, or I just want to go gym once a month, or something minute. That's easy. You want something that's going to be challenging, and you want the other person to have something that's challenging, because that's what's going to motivate you to hold each other accountable, right? You want to have someone you can trust. You want to have someone who will actually do it, right? Because the truth is that, let's say out of 100 people in this room, 90 probably won't do it. I'm okay with that all the time. I say it. Majority of people in the room might not do the work, might not make a commitment to change. It's up to you. If you get offended by that, if that annoys you, like, oh, he's this guy, who's he to say that majority of us won't do it? It's just the truth. I see it. I speak to thousands of traders a week. You have to realize that I know what the majority of people do. Right? It's just as majority of people lose in the markets, right? That's the truth, right? Majority of people lose in the markets. Why is that? Because they don't change. They don't make commitments. They don't make goals. They don't change anything. They just do the same shit every day, right? But that's where I try and do this sort of webinar. I try and give this sort of knowledge and this sort of approach, and try and give you systems and thought processes and knowledge that it will hopefully change you from those people. I want to be wrong. I would love to be wrong that the 100 odd people, the 95 people in here will do every single step and will follow through with it and achieve all goals that they set. I would love that. That's my goal. That's my mission. That's the whole reason I'm here at Astro, is because I love helping other people. Where else can I go to have access to so many people worldwide? Nowhere. Astro has all of them. And that's why I'm here. That's literally the only reason I'm here. If I couldn't have this sort of reach and interaction with people and try and help people, I wouldn't be here. I'll just go do my properties. Maybe I'd work a normal 9 to 5 or just trade. That's it. That's all I'd do. Honestly, there would be no reason for me to be here, other than that I love to see other people do well and change based off the back of whether it's something I've said, whether it's something I've shown, whether it's just holding them accountable to things that they say. Just like why I always use Yusuf and the same sort of similar names that you hear as examples, because they are my sort of how to say, like, testimonials of what I like to do and what I enjoy, right? And they're testimonials of what can be achieved when the individual, not me, the individual decides to make changes, decides to put in work, decides that they have had enough of how they were feeling and where they want to go. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good I am, it doesn't matter how good I am at trading or talking or how much knowledge I have or on what topics. It doesn't matter. None of it matters unless someone's there to take action on it. Now, I'm taking action on trying to spread it. Right? I'm taking action on bringing it to you guys and presenting it in a way and trying to give you the steps. That's my action. Then it's on you. It's on you then to take that action further, to then take action on what I've said, to then take action on what you decide to do. Right? Yeah, it's true. It's momentum. It's like the snowball effect. Like the snowball at the top of the hill will start tiny. It will start like a grain of sand. By the time it reaches the bottom, it's the size of a mountain, right? Because the momentum of it over going, and it starts off that way though. If it didn't start off that way and then someone took action to push it or nudge it or even just took action itself to move, it wouldn't go anywhere. It wouldn't grow. It wouldn't have that momentum behind it. And the truth is the momentum is real. You could work for 3 solid years going absolutely, ham, 9 to 5 or 9 to bloody 10 at night for all I know, but might not be doing the right actions. You might not have the right intention, might not be looking at the right things. So you can do all the hard work. I was there. The reason why I'm saying this is because I used to do the 100-hour weeks and stuff. I used to do overdo it, go gym every single day, etc., etc. And yes, I did get some form of results, but not the results I was seeking because I was working hard, not smart, right? And I wasn't setting the right goals and holding myself accountable to the things I actually wanted to achieve. I just thought hard work breeds results. That's not true, right? Smart work breeds results. Smart intention, clear intention, consistent, disciplined work breeds results. Hard work isn't enough. I would rather work hard for an hour than work hard, say, for 10 hours. And I'd probably get more results out of that 1 hour than I did for 10. Because out of that 10, 9.5 of it's probably wasted because I'm just knowing I'm going to be here for 10 hours. I'm not bothered. But when I know I'm here for only 1 hour and when I need to do my work, I need to get this done, that's when results get breeded. And that's where you see those results come in. Yeah. Does that make sense, everyone, though? How did everyone find the webinar? Is everyone going to try and take action on what we've said today? And even though you may have set your goals, are you going to go on to that next stages of getting the accountability partner, and setting the actionable steps, etc.? I'd love to hear that. Good stuff, good stuff. Ready to rumble. Took 2 pages of notes. Amazing. Thank you. Love it. Whoa, that is the first webinar of 2021 completed. The next webinar you'll see me on, I'm guessing there will be no webinar tomorrow because Shabs is in Dubai. So I'm guessing there won't be a psychology webinar. If there is, she will update everyone. But as of now, no webinar. Wednesday, I'm guessing there will be a Spanish webinar because Michaela's still around. Yeah, she's here. So I'm guessing Wednesday we should get a webinar in Spanish, obviously. So for our Spanish speaking traders. And then Thursday, the Hit Squad is on. Myself and Joe will be on the Thursday webinar. So that'll be good. Trading floor session, I will confirm shortly. But I'm guessing they'll start again from tomorrow more than likely. So I will get confirmation if it's tomorrow. If not, it'll be later in the week. But we will be starting those again because we will be going into further lockdown, I would guess, in the coming maybe tonight. We might find out tonight. So we'll find out tonight if we're going into further lockdown. But more than likely, we'll be going on to virtual trading floors moving forward again. So yeah. But yeah, guys, everyone, guys and girls, sorry, appreciate your attendance, appreciate your support, appreciate everyone who shouted it out on this story as well and tagged me in it. Appreciate that. I'll choose a couple of people, hopefully, and do some one-to-one calls later in the week. And yeah, I'll catch you all on Thursday. So take care, everyone. Take care. Bye.